But what about independent candidate Evan McMullin? McMullin is actually polling ahead of Jill Stein in one recent poll, with 2% of the vote compared to her 1%. He's from Utah. He's a Mormon. Voters in 34 states can cast ballots for him, and we're wondering if his presence in the field just might help Clinton put deep red Utah in play this year. And joining me now from Salt Lake City, Utah, is presidential candidate Evan McMullin. Thank you so much for being here. It is great to talk to you. Been looking forward to this. And let's start with that soundbite that we just played of you talking about the scenario by which your presence on the ballot in 37 states throws the race into the Electoral College, because neither Hillary Clinton nor Donald Trump gets the sufficient plurality of votes to get to 270. What makes you think that the House of Representatives, which would make this decision, would not just give the election to the person they've all pledged their fealty to, and that is Donald Trump?
Well, Joy, first of all, let me say that it's great to be with you. I've been looking forward to this as well. You know, it would be a race. If the election made its way to the House of Representatives, the House of Representatives would need to make a choice by March 4th, according to the Constitution of the following year. And I believe it would reset the race. And so at that point, it would be a three-way competition between Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and me. I think that in those conditions, I would have a very good shot of prevailing. Why? Because I align with House Republicans on most issues. Donald Trump does not. Yes, he's the Republican nominee, but he's been an absolute disaster for the Republican Party. I'm the only true conservative candidate in this race, and that's the reality. I'm also a much more tolerable pick for Democrats than is Donald Trump. So I believe that I actually might be able to be the consensus candidate as a conservative coming out of the House.
I'm not going to belabor the point, but all of those points you make are points that Rick Wilson, who's working with you on your campaign, my friend, our mutual friend Sarah Rumpf, has made this point online. We've had, Leo Wolf, we've had on and on and on. Stalwart, longtime conservatives, never Trumpers make that case, and yet Republicans, elected Republicans, to a person. You're talking about people like Marco Rubio, who called Donald Trump everything but a child of God during the primary, all lining up in lockstep. John McCain, who he personally insulted his service. They are all essentially party men. They are not walking away from a candidate. Even they admit it probably in their own inner souls is not a conservative, is not one of them. So if they are that in lockstep with him now, if they are that much, marching no matter what, why would they suddenly change their minds?
Well, you point out correctly, Joy, that would be the challenge. There's no doubt about that. And I've been severely disappointed by Republican elected leaders' broad support for Donald Trump, despite his bigoted and divisive and misogynistic rhetoric. I mean, this is not something that Republicans should support, and it's not something that conservatives do support. So yes, I've been very disappointed by that. I think it causes concern, I think, for many people who have voted Republican in the past about the future of the Republican Party as a vehicle for the conservative movement. That's perhaps something we can talk about. But yes, certainly that would be the challenge, and I've been very, very disappointed by Republican members in Congress' failure to stand up to Donald Trump and his relationship to Vladimir Putin and his divisive rhetoric and his lack of policy acumen and knowledge. I mean, it's just, I could go on and on.
Yeah. I want to do a quick lightning round with you because I want people to get a chance to get to know you, our viewers, to find out what your positions are on some issues and on some sort of cultural sort of touchstones. Let's go through a few of them. Do you believe that Barack Obama, and this is crazy that I have to ask this question, but this has become an issue, was Barack Obama born in the United States?
Yes, and it is crazy that you have to ask that question. And the whole birther movement and controversy promoted by Donald Trump was flatly racist. Yes, I believe he was born in the United States. That's what his birth certificate says.
Yeah. Do you believe climate change is man-made?
I believe that we contribute to it, yes, and that we have a stewardship, responsibility of stewardship for the earth, and we need to do a better job.
You have a fascinating history. You worked with the CIA, but you also worked on refugee resettlement. You've done really quite incredible service to your country. Yeah. What would you do to our country? What would you do about Syrian refugees as president?
Well, first of all, we need to address the core problem causing this massive refugee crisis. the largest since World War II. It's less about resettlement and it's more about solving the core issue, which is Bashar al-Assad's continued attack against Syrian civilians. He's set up an industrial-scale killing machine of Syrians, and that's why they're fleeing, as well as ISIS. We need to deal with that as well. Those are the core sources of these refugee flows. Yes, I do believe that we need to resettle refugees, some of them here to the United States, but we'll never be able to solve the problem by resettling refugees here or to Europe or elsewhere. We're talking about over 5 million Syrian refugees alone flowing out of Syria in the past 5+ years. And then within Syria, it's another 7 million or something. Half of the population of Syria has been displaced. So we've got to deal with the core problems. That's where my focus would be. But I would continue to resettle vetted Syrian refugees to the United States.
Well, Evan McMullin, I wish we had more time. I'm going to ask you if you would please come back. I'd like to do another round with you on domestic issues because I think people should get to know you. You are a fascinating guy, and people should read about your bio. And good luck to you. I really wish you luck.
Thank you so much, Joy. We'll be back. Thank you.